Good morning and welcome from St Mary's Goosner on this Wednesday after Christmas for our reflection. When I was very small, I'm not sure which one of us it was, one of my brothers or my sister or myself, but one Christmas we were given a kaleidoscope. And you'll recall those toys. Perhaps they're not very familiar these days, but they contain a lot of different pieces of coloured plastic or glass that as you turn the kaleidoscope, they take up different patterns. And as you look through them, you see all those different coloured patterns being formed by those pieces of plastic or glass. And I was reminded of it as I was trying to think about all the different readings and parts of the story of Jesus that we come across in the days and weeks after Christmas. Before Christmas, it's all fairly organised and linear. The angel Gabriel comes and tells Mary she's going to have a child, and then visits Elizabeth too, and they have that encounter, and then that time of preparation, and Mary and Joseph head for Bethlehem, and there the baby Jesus is born, as we celebrated on Christmas Day last week. But then in the readings of the lectionary, it all starts to get a bit confusing. Yesterday, or Monday rather, we were marking the Holy Innocents, and but if you read the text of that, you realise possibly that happened anything up to 2 years after Jesus was born, from the age of the children that Herod had killed. And if that's when that happened, then it's also the time that the wise men came. So although we often have them all rolled up together in the events of Christmas, there's clearly possibly quite a wide spread of time between when Jesus was born and the wise men came. And then last Sunday, but it really should have been on the 8th day after he was born, we marked Jesus being named and circumcised. Yes, we've got Epiphany coming up on the 6th of January when we mark the wise men coming. But then we're also dealing with the baptism of Jesus, but as an adult, not as a child. And we start to meet him in his adult ministry. And then at the beginning of February, we mark the 40 days after he was born, when he was presented in the temple. And it's all a bit jumbled up, a bit like my kaleidoscope. And it's sometimes a little bit confusing to keep tabs on exactly where we are in the story of Jesus and how it all holds together. But then I was thinking about this, and the kaleidoscope came to mind, because every time we look at these different parts of the story of Jesus, it's like the kaleidoscope settling in a different way, and the pattern shifts and the pattern changes, and we see something new in the colours and everything else like that. And at the same time, a bit like a kaleidoscope, we can get so caught up in the details of the little bit that we're looking at, important in the life of Jesus, though those little bits might happen to be. We can get so caught up in looking at the detail of this little bit or that little bit and wondering why they come together in this particular pattern, that we lose sight of the big thing about a kaleidoscope, and the even bigger thing about the life of Jesus. And the thing about a kaleidoscope is, yes, there are all these different little bits of glass or plastic, all settling in different kinds of ways, all showing up a different pattern. But the important thing is the light that shines through the kaleidoscope, because without the light, you can't see the colours and you can't see the patterns. And when we think about the birth of Jesus and all the events surrounding that, and also as he begins his adult ministry and everything that goes on in that, sometimes we get so caught up in looking at all the little details of this little bit or that little bit and how this works with that and all the other stuff, that we can lose sight of that bigger picture. And the bigger picture of the birth of Jesus is the light that comes shining through. In fact, that's true of the whole of Jesus' life and ministry, indeed, the whole of the life of the people of God before and since. It's all about the light that shines through, about God who is with us in Jesus Christ, about God who breaks into time and into history and into our lives and makes a difference. God who comes to heal and to forgive and to save and to transform and to renew and enable us to be the people that God has made us to be. And as John put it, who we mark on this Tuesday when I'm recording this, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has neither understood it nor overcome it. There again, we get a kaleidoscope. The word understood and overcome are two different translations of the same thing. But the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has neither understood it nor overcome it. Amen.